Class, you already know. First class, you already know.
Okay guys, so I've been home for a couple days now since my whole DC trip, and I want to put on my glasses, but I hate how like the reflection looks. Whatever, I think I can see. At least I hope I can see. I didn't really feel like putting makeup on to film this portion, so I'm sorry if I look ugly. Okay, so basically I was in DC because I was a finalist, or I guess I still am a finalist, for the Howard Bison STEM Scholarship. And the Howard Bison STEM Scholarship is a scholarship for STEM majors. STEM is for science, technology, engineer, and math, and my major is a sciences, biology. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about the application part first. I found out about the scholarship a while ago, like after I applied, but it was before I even got my decision back when I found out about the scholarship. And I applied to the scholarship really early. I applied maybe like December 31st, January 1st, somewhere around like the first week of January, I would say. And it was due January 30th, but they ended up extending the deadline. But anyways, the whole application fee was super easy. It wasn't, I mean, it was kind of time consuming, but it's a scholarship, so I guess you have to sacrifice some time to do it. Basically what they really wanted, you had to submit all of your stuff through a Google form. So they just wanted your ACT math score and your SAT math score. I personally took the ACT like 5 times, honestly. So I sent in my highest ACT composite score, and then I sent in my highest math composite score, because my highest math composite score was not with my highest ACT score, and I just didn't want Howard to think I was dumb or something. So I was like, doing that won't hurt because they'll still have the criteria that they need. Super scored, my ACT is a 30 to 31, something like that, and my highest math composite was a 27. I'm not that good at math, like at all. So, and then for my SAT, I did the same thing, and my highest, I sent in both of my scores because I took the SAT twice. I just sent in both of those. It had to be a 630 with the math, I think. I just know it's not that high, so please don't think I got like a 700 on the math because I suck ass at math, so that's not it. And then you had to write like 3 essays, I think. One was like, what you plan on doing with the degree, why do you want to go to Howard, and something else. It was really easy though. It wasn't like super out of the world hard or anything. Then you have to send in your transcript, and that was about it. Decisions, or like the decisions for the finalists, they came out about maybe the 3rd or 4th week of February. Does February have 4 weeks? I really don't know. And basically selection weekend was March 22nd, 23rd. So it's like the first week of March. It's been 2 weeks since the finalist decisions have come out, and I still haven't heard a peep about it. So my mom ended up calling the guy, and he was like, oh yeah, like she is a finalist. I don't know why she didn't get the email. So basically I found out that it was going to Howard 2 weeks before I knew, and some people knew a month ahead. So if for some reason you never get information that you're supposed to get, you should just call up the office and they'll help you out, because that's what happened to me. So I give them a different email to use, and you know, we get our plane tickets, we start planning and whatever, and then they send up a follow-up email. And in the follow-up email, it just mentions like what you should bring, program details, and Howard also hits you up with a math test. I was like, what? I was like, a math test? What? I was confused, I'm not gonna lie. So they have this website, and you have to take an assessment. And whew, did I mention that I'm not good at math? But did I also mention that I'm in AP statistics, and the math for this was really like calculus based? And I took pre-calc last year, but that was last year. So did I retain anything? Hell no. So I took the pre-assessment. I did not score well. I think I scored like a 54, and that put me into college algebra. Not even pre-calculus, college algebra. So I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work out. And before you get to the program on that Friday, you have to have completed 3 hours of the math, because So you do the assessment and then you do 3 hours of practice to go over like all the things that you missed or to like things that you don't know, which aka I didn't know. And after that, you have to take another assessment. And the only way to get to that, like unlock that assessment, is to complete your 3 hours. So you have to do the 3 hours so you can unlock the test to take that day when you're in the program, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So yeah, I did that. They also mentioned in the email how you have to stay in the dorm and you had to bring a sleeping bag. And I was, first of all, I was like, really, Howard? But then I didn't really expect much because I was like, don't they have a housing crisis anyways? What was I thinking? That they were gonna treat us like we're celebrities? No. So that's all the pre-stuff to get in, like be a finalist for the program or whatever. So you guys saw me going to DC because I came in Thursday. So Friday, the next day, we woke up and we went to campus and I met up with Bryce. And Bryce is, I feel so awkward. So Bryce, he is part of the JBJ TV. I know him because our moms pledged in the same chapter in the same school. They went to A&T together, so that's how I know him. And he was kind enough to give me a tour around campus, and I really loved the campus. I really liked it. I love the vibe. I like the whole like city vibe, and everyone who like he just introduced me to were super nice, and I just really liked it. They were all friendly. It just seemed like a really close-knit community. I did not vlog that because I just didn't want to seem weird and I didn't want to seem like a clout chaser, and I just didn't want to leave a bad impression. So I did not vlog like after when I got in Thursday because, like I said, when I was with Bryce, I just didn't want to seem like weird. I genuinely just wanted to be in the moment and just get a feel for the campus, and I just didn't want his first impression of me being like having a camera all over him and like all over the campus, all over his friends and whatever. And I didn't vlog during the program because it was kind of serious and I just didn't feel like it was an appropriate time to vlog, so I'm sorry. So after Bryce gave me the tour, we went to go eat, and then we went to the College of Medicine because that's where we had to check in. So check-in ended at like 3:50, 4 o'clock, I think. Oh, I forgot to mention that like 2 days before the program, Howard sent out another email saying that there was a power outage in the building that we were going to stay in. There is no power or whatever, so we actually weren't going to stay on campus. We just stayed with our parents, and I thought that was fine because I stayed in the bed. So we checked in at the College of Medicine at 4 o'clock, and whew, that was long. There was so many finalists there. It was kind of insane. I met a lot of nice people. Everyone was nice. They first really just started off, Mr. Smith, he's like the director of the program. They all just started off giving speeches about the program, how the program came to be, how it's different, their expectations, and then they introduced more people involved with the program. Then it was our turn, and they revealed that there was about 140 finalists. And I don't know about you, that's a lot of freaking kids. That is so many kids, you guys. And so each of us had to go up to the podium and we had to say our names, our major, where we're from, our school. Yeah, I think that's it. And of course we had some kids who just wanted to share their entire life story. And I'm like, y'all, it should literally take like not even 30 seconds to say, hey, my name is Piper Harper. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I go to Union Grove High School and I plan on majoring in biology. Oh, we also had to say like our biggest academic achievement, and I said my biggest academic achievement is sharing my skills or knowledge in math and science to tutor disadvantaged kids in downtown Atlanta. Like, that probably only took like 15 seconds. Some people were taking forever, and it's like, I don't need to know this whole story. Like, there's 140 of us. Let's just go. Let's, get it crack-a-lackin', But when I tell you, there were so many smart people there. Like, I just loved being in that type of environment. There were people who, this one guy, he interned at Google over the summer and he created a software for Apple and got to show their IT team. Another guy went to NASA. Some people went to Johns Hopkins for a summer, Stanford, and I was like, what the actual heck? You're telling me I just did a summer leadership academy at Georgia State. You're telling me I just did a public health program at UGA. NBA, and you guys are over here at NASA. Like, that's the type of people who are finalists. So I was like, wow, okay. So after that took maybe like 2.5 hours. It was so long. After that, our parents left and we broke out into groups. We met with different cohorts, whatever, like people who are already in the program, and we just like talked to each other, they asked us some questions, and then we went to College Hall South, I believe that was where it was, and we had a little mixer. So we once again had to say our names and like what our majors were, except this time all 140 of us didn't have to do that, and I was like, thank God. And we got to eat pizza and we mingled, or at least I mingled. I actually got up and I went over to people, shook their hands, introduced myself, asked them for their names, just because like if I might go here, I just want to know some people, and I just didn't want to sit and not talk to people because there were so many people there, and I'm like, let me just make some friends, like let me mingle. I'm just a social person, so I don't think it's awkward, but yeah, that's what I did. And then they started playing some music and it was fun. It was like I was at a party. So that was the mixer. Oh, and you guys saw some like clips from that before too. That was really fun. Then we did some more activities like icebreakers, like finding a twin or whatever. And yeah, so that ended about at 10 o'clock. Then I went back to the hotel. The next day, real serious. It was serious. We had to dress in professional wear all day the next day. I had to be at the IRS, which is the Interdisciplinary Research Center, at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, it was really between 8:50, but I got there like at 8:40. So we had to do that. They had a little like breakfast thing set out for us. And then after that, we headed to the iLab. And in the iLab, we had to check in, which took forever because there was 140 of us. And we then had to take the math test. That kind of took a while because like the internet wasn't working, the computers weren't logging in. So that kind of took a while. It literally took we were scheduled to take it at 9, but I don't think we started until 10. So we were like an hour behind. And yeah, we had to take the math test. The one thing that I really hate though is that, and I'm gonna give my final reviews at the end about the program. I'm just sharing like the experience. One thing that I really hate is that you can't use a calculator. And when I was studying for it, like when I was home during the 3 hours, I was using my TI-84. And then when I got to the program, I asked Mr. Smith if I could like use my calculator, and he said no, and he said it again before we took our test. No calculators are permitted. So that really sucked. I ended up getting a 58 on the test. So go me, I increased by 4 points. So after that, we went back to the IRS and we had lunch. Lunch was okay, it was just like a packed lunch or whatever. And then we headed to the library. My feet were killing me though because we had to, they said that we couldn't change out, or we couldn't change into our business wear or anything. So that entire day I was in heels and they hurt so bad because we were like walking all over the place. So we get back to go to the library. We walked up 4 flights of stairs and I was in heels. I was like, oh my God. And we all had a name tag, and on our name tag it split us up into groups. So I was the pink group, but I was in group C. So they all split us up into the groups that we were in, and you were either going to your interview or you were going to you're gonna go to a panel with the people already in the program, ask them questions, or you were going to their presentations. So I first went to presentation and it was all right. After the presentations, I went to the panel, and the panel, it was pretty helpful if you just had any other questions that you wanted to ask them, and they already had like pre-questions that they were going to answer for you, so they answered those. So it was pretty informative. Keep in mind, I'm still walking up and down 4 flights of stairs in heels, and I'm just asking, when will this be over? When will I not be in pain anymore? So finally, it's our turn to interview. And I'm like, oh yes, okay, I'm getting kind of nervous. I gotta, whew. So they move us into this tiny room, and basically they call your name and they take you back to your interview. And during that time, there were still other cohort members in there, and they were just talking to us, asking us questions, trying to settle down our nerves and everything. So then something strange happens. One of the members come in and they're like, okay, we're done. And I'm like, I didn't get my interview. What do you mean we're done? And so turns out it wasn't just me. There were like 20 other people who didn't have an interview. So we go back another 4 flights of stairs upstairs, and they're like, well, if you didn't get an interview, you're probably just gonna have to get a Skype interview. And I'm like, what? And basically they said that we took too long to respond, or like we didn't RSVP. And to me that just didn't make any sense, because I had a name tag when I first checked in, so that clearly meant that I RSVP'd, right? Because why would they have my name that I would be here if I didn't RSVP? And then they're also like, you know, they're running behind because they tried to like see if they could just fit us in. And they're like, we're running behind, so we're just gonna have to schedule a Skype interview with you guys. Like, look out in your email. And keep in mind, like, the majority of the people got an interview. There's just like 20 of us. We were still all in the same group. So to me, that kind of just told me that they already knew that we weren't getting an interview today, because we were all still the pink group C. But everyone else got an interview. And I was just kind of pissed off because I had been walking in heels all day. I've been uncomfortable. I had a freaking 2-hour math test, because the math test was 2 hours. I don't know if I mentioned that. And we went through all of this to not even have an interview. So I was pretty pissed off. And yeah, so then we went to closing remarks after that, and the program was done. Then my mom came, picked me up, and we went out to eat. And then the next day we went home. So my final thoughts on the Bison STEM Scholars Program is be careful when you're thinking about applying to this or wanting to do all of this. And I say that because I felt like they weren't really clear with their requirements, and maybe that's just on me for not researching it enough, but I think it's only its 3rd year, as well as it being a program. And I say be careful because it says that they're looking for students who are interested in a PhD or a MD/PhD. And I remember when I was thinking of applying, I like took it to my mom and I was like, wait, I don't want a PhD, but it says an MD/PhD. So does that mean or is that like the actual name of the thing? And it turns out an MD PhD is an actual like thing. It doesn't mean an MD or a PhD. It's a literal thing. So an MD PhD, it basically means you wouldn't be practicing medicine like as much as you would if you just got an MD. You would still be heavily involved in research. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. And I just felt like they should have made that a little clearer. My mom's really smart and I just trust my mom. So it's like, if she didn't know that, then I don't think other people knew that. So I don't know. So I remember when he said that during the first day, like the opening day of the program, and I remember texting my mom like, yeah, I don't think this program is for me. Can we like leave? And she was like, just stick it out, like just go through it, you never know. And they kept repeating that, like, if you just want to become a doctor, if you're not really into research, this is not the program for you. And I truly believe that. They just kept saying that, and I'm just like, yeah, if you apply to this and if you become a finalist and you get into the program, it is a huge commitment. And I'm not one for commitments, like call it trust issues or something. I cannot make a big commitment when I can't even decide what I want to wear tomorrow. Like, I just can't. And I say it's a big commitment because if you get it, you have to get a PhD or that MD PhD. If you don't, you have to pay back Howard for everything. And that's like $200,000 plus. And I'm just like, I could use that money for med school or dentistry. I can't do that. Also, if you get it, you have to complete a 6-week summer bridge program at Howard. So the summer bridge program this year is from June 6th to, no, is it June 6th? It's like June 12th to July 26th. It's something like that, and it's 6 weeks. I was like, oh shit, I can't do that. And I think they kind of lie about that because it's really like an 8-week program, because you spend that 6 weeks like taking some courses, I believe. That's why they have you do that math test, because it's like a math placement test. So you do that during the summer. And they also mentioned, like the cohorts, when we were talking to them, they mentioned that you couldn't have your phone during the 6 weeks. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I need my phone. And they were only allowed to have it for like 1 hour from like 10 to 11 p.m., which was like their bedtime or something. I was like, wait. I can't do that. And after these 6 weeks, you have to go you go to Germany for 2 weeks. So it's really like 8 weeks, and by the time you get back, that's freshman move-in week. And they said how some people decide to go home or they just stay for freshman move-in week. And I was like, I can't do that. Like, I'm gonna miss my mom. Like, I need to come home. I can't spend 8 weeks or like my entire summer doing that. Like, it's such a big commitment. And I'm so like unsure with what I really want to do. Like, I know I want to go into the health field, but I don't really know if I want to go into medicine or dentistry, because I've been thinking of dentistry as an option. I just for sure know I don't want a PhD. Like, that thought has never crossed my mind. And they also really want, because I remember before we got to DC, my mom talked to Mr. Smith again because like my email wasn't working or whatever, and she mentioned the math test to him, and he said how he really wants finalists into calculus. And I think that's another thing that they should make clear about. If you want students in like to know calculus or to be ready for a college calc class, then you should probably put that in the requirement for the app. You should probably just say, okay, if they haven't taken AP Calculus A, B, or BC, like, that's the requirement to get into the program. Because if you're admitting finalists who are in AP Statistics or aren't even taking an AP like math class, they might be in pre-calculus, or like my school offers a math finite or something like that. So it's just like not everyone is going to be taking calculus at the same time as, you know, the scholarship. So I think that's really what they need to make as a requirement, like make it a requirement that they're on that college calculus level, because you know, your girl scored a 58 on the math test because she hasn't done calculus since last year, and she can't even use a calculator. So to me, that was just kind of mind-blowing, and it was just kind of annoying, because if I had known that, I would have, like, I could have just scheduled a visit. You know, I didn't have to, like, block out 3 days and miss 2 days of school for that. Yeah, that's... Oh, and also the whole interview thing, that was so annoying. They actually emailed me about setting up the time for my Skype email. I need to email them back, so I'm just not interested in it. I talked to my mom and my counselor about it. They kind of think that I should just go through with it, like, just interview anyways to get more practice, but I just don't see the point in wasting their time or my time with doing that, because I know I don't want it. If I got it, I would have to decline it. They have a wait list as well, but I'm not interested in it. And it's kind of hard, like, that it's tough because you're passing up a full ride scholarship to Howard, but at the same time, I can't find myself 110% committed in doing a program like that. So I would recommend, like, if you know you want a PhD or an MD PhD, then go for it. Like, look at the program, apply for it. But if you're not certain with your future, and if you know that you genuinely want to practice medicine, like you want to open up your own private practice or whatever, don't do it, because it's not worth saying that you went to the school when you have to do this. And I was on College Confidential the other day, and the mother of someone whose child is already in the program said that it's a requirement for them to apply to at least 13 graduate schools. So, I mean, unless you completely BS the application requirements, like the application for graduate school, I just don't see you getting out of that, because you have to sign an agreement. So yeah, that's my like thoughts on the Bison STEM scholarship. I love this school and I love the people. I had a lot of fun, and I'm still trying to figure out a way how to afford to go, because it's really expensive and Howard didn't give me that much money. So yeah, my mom's been contacting financial aid. Hopefully some miracle will happen. I don't qualify for need-based, so I'm gonna get like no money for that. But yeah, hopefully something happens. I really liked it. But yeah, that was my whole DC experience, you guys. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe. If you have any questions about the program whatsoever, just comment it down below and I will try to answer it to my best ability. But yeah, so like I said, thank you for watching, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe. As always, see you next time.
Nas Beamers, double pocket, fuck pen and meter. In your club, on your couch, just got paid to be it.